Now. So what's up, everybody? It's 3:30 Central Time. This is David in Houston, and then Mike in Boise, as always. We were talking before the call a little bit about what we're doing over Memorial Day weekend and what our plans are and stuff. So, Mike, what you got going on, man?
We are hoping to get up into the mountains and get some more fresh air, but weather is not cooperating. We're getting so much rain. So it's going to play a big factor in what we do this weekend. We're hoping to get up there, and if we don't, then we're just going to spend some time at home getting some home stuff done and maybe pick up a barbell or a kettlebell and get a little extra exercise in.
Ooh, I like that.
What about you?
I like that. Yeah. So, and then if you guys want to share what you have going on over the long weekend, Memorial Day weekend, you can put that in the chat box. On Monday, we always do the Murph workout at my girlfriend's gym. She manages a gym too. And if you guys don't know, we talked about it on another call, but that's a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats, and then another mile run. But because of the social distancing stuff and making sure that we're following those protocols, we had to change it. So we still have the mile runs at the ends, but now it's going to be 200 push-ups, 300 crunches, and 400 jump squats. So lots of reps.
That's not a fair trade-off.
I know. That's where I was golden. That's why I won last year, because of the pull-ups. I was like, okay, I can make up some of the mile times if I'm cranking out pull-up. But so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, everybody, while you're doing your workouts, your CubeFit workout or whatever. Know that I'm doing like 1,000 reps this week.
Did you say, okay, so 200 push-ups, 300 sit-ups, 400 squats?
400 jump squats, yeah.
Jump squats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Plus a mile
sandwich
before.
in between mile runs, yeah. So, it'll be a good one.
I don't think I'd be able to run after the 400 jump squats.
No.
It'll be interesting.
Not at all.
I haven't done that one yet.
David, not to put you on the spot, what's your goal time here? What's realistic for you?
So I haven't done that workout yet. Last year with the 100, 200, 300, I was right around 32 minutes, which is pretty good. With this one, it's going to take more. It's going to take longer because it's a lot of reps. Good thing is that the movements we're doing, you can kind of knock out a little bit quicker, like the push-ups and crunches and stuff. It'll be interesting. I'll report back.
The crunches, what's the specifics on that? Do you have to use like an ab mat, or are you going to be flat on the ground? What happens with the legs?
I'm looking forward to seeing what their rules are for that. Because for me, when I do normal crunches, usually I'll have my legs elevated, and that's just to keep my lower back flush against the ground. I know a lot of people that, if you're doing dead bugs or crunches or anything like that, that should be something that you check off that list, is that you don't have that, where you can put your hand or a couple fingers underneath your lower back. So I always elevate my legs a little bit. We'll see what they have to say, but it's not going to be a full sit up or anything. It'll be a crunch.
Interesting to see what the rules are on that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. I'm glad I'm not doing it. I'm excited for you.
Good. Yeah. Everybody, prayers, good vibes.
Send them down to Houston.
Yeah. What does everybody else have going on? Anybody? It doesn't have to be.
I'm actually headed to Bend, which is Central Oregon, which I'm super excited about.
I love Bend.
Things are finally starting to open up, but I think most of it's going to be outdoors anyway. Hannah, have you ever been to Smith Rock before?
Yes, I've climbed it so many times. Don't
do
Smith hot.
Yeah, this weekend I think it's supposed to be like 67 and sunny or something, which is perfect.
I'll be in that same area because I'm going camping at Crane Prairie.
Which fun.
Is like on the Cascade Lakes Highway, which is probably like 45 minutes from there.
Oh, nice. We're going to be in the same area.
Nice. It's going to be nice over there this weekend, so.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Same.
That sounds like fun. Hey, Mary, you have anything going on? You're going to walk your goat around the property?
I tell you, he's gotten just, I walk him every day, and he is just so used to the routine that if I walk outside, he just starts like yelling. because he wants to go walking. And
That is awesome.
we had a delivery guy the other day, he delivered something and he drove by to the end of the street and he came back and he stopped and goes, "Oh my God, that goat's big." He said, "I didn't realize it was a goat." Yeah. So I sent David a picture and he's huge.
That's what I was about to say. I was taken back by the photo that Mary sent me.
Yeah.
That's
Big.
funny.
And that's saying something because I have a 200-pound dog, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a big goat."
How much does the goat weigh? I know you told us before. I don't remember.
I don't really know how much he weighs.
You don't take him to the vet and weigh him?
No, I
Sure,
don't.
he's a healthy weight.
Well, he's definitely not a healthy weight. But with the walking, he is trimming up a bit. He's not so wide on the sides. But to get him back in the pen, you have to offer him goat treats. So
That's funny. So he's gotten pretty used to the shutdown and enjoys the daily walks, huh?
He does. He loves it. He does better than the dog. I mean, the dog, gets distracted and, starts doing this or that. But the goat, like if you walk enough to where you're almost out of sight, he'll come just running, like, and his ears are flopping.
Like what?
Well, never mind.
That's funny.
But we're going to go over to Clear Lake, in which we haven't really gone anywhere this last couple of months, but we decided that we would go. So I think I told the gang before that. So it's my daughter here and her husband, which they just got married in our backyard early March. And since then we've been in quarantine. So, and then my daughter and her friend. So that's the 6 of us that are quarantined here. And we haven't gone anywhere except last weekend when we went to the farm, but we've decided we'll go to my daughter's mother-in-law's house and she's going to cook for us. So it'll be nice to get out and do something.
That's great. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Especially as things are kind of starting to get a little, not normal, but a little bit more normalized. I know we're in the same area here and things are starting to slowly phase back into opening. But what stuck out to me was, okay, they got married and now you're just stuck together. Not only for life, but like you're quarantined together right at the beginning. That's funny.
That's a good get to know you really quickly. If you don't know each other by that point,
Yes.
you're going to really quickly.
It's like you didn't know when you were marrying Lindsay that, you were going to be quarantined with the family for the next months,
Yeah.
So they're staying in a little travel RV in our backyard. And then my daughter and her friend are over in this little pool house. So we have our privacy, but we kind of come together in the afternoons and, eat and then sit outside for a while and visit. So it's actually been nice, to get to know, his name is Burke, to get to know him on a different level and day to day. It's like, okay, I feel just much better just knowing how kind he is and what kind of person he really is. And because as soon as all this lifts, my daughter and him are going to go to live in Switzerland. So, it's been good. Except he did come in here and just say, "Hey, can I Venmo you for the alcohol order that I just ordered?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he was walking off. I said, "How much is it?" And he goes, "It's $400." And I was like, "Okay."
Oh man.
I was like, "Is that for this weekend?"
Are we dealing with quantity or quality there?
I think it's a little both.
All right.
Got your quarantine stash ready to roll.
It is, yeah. And I was like, "Wow, is that for this weekend?"
That's really good though to hear. There's always a silver lining in this stuff, and it was kind of a bummer to be quarantined, everything shut down and affecting businesses and stuff like that. But then you can see in your own family, you're getting closer with your son-in-law and stuff like that. So that's good. You can always find some gratitude somewhere.
And you're right. What kind of doggy is that in the background?
You see her tail popping out.
Yeah.
David, show her.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Come here, baby. Nah, she laid down.
Oh.
Aw.
She's
She got shy.
She's like a little husky mix.
She's cute.
Little.
li- little compared to the other dog.
Little.
Yeah.
How? This is the smaller of the two. And
I
Right.
could just see
so
her
this is
tail.
a husky. What's your other one? What's your other dog, David? What
The
kind?
Husky's about 60 pounds, and then the English Mastiff
Mastiff. That's right.
over here, right beside it,
Oh,
is about 200.
Goodness.
He's on a little diet though, so we might get him down to 195. You know,
Nice.
something crazy.
Oh, I want to see.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And then in between
she's
all the
so
pillows
pretty.
on my
Oh my God.
boy. He comes
Thing is huge.
Oh my
my
gosh.
goodness.
Well,
They're adorable.
They
she's still
are.
wide-eyed. She just went for a run. She is still wide-eyed.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're beautiful.
Thank you.
Cute.
Hey, David, I had a question for you regarding the gym that your girlfriend runs.
Sure.
Are they back open now? And if so, what's the situation? What did they have
Yeah.
to do? Okay.
Good question. Good question. They opened back up on Monday. Monday was their reopening, and they're at 25% capacity of what it would usually be.
Okay.
So
So are they just limiting the amount of people who come in at a specific time?
right, and it's only signups for classes, anyways. How her gym works. So they're already doing that. It's just the numbers are lower, and they're obviously cleaning like crazy. And she has to wear everybody has to wear a mask. That works there, not the people that work out. And then yeah, just following some of those social distancing protocols. They have to change the workouts a little bit, so they're not all touching the same stuff, you know. But,
Has there been any like just remodel of the equipment, moving stuff around to get more to create more space, like floor space or distance in between?
They definitely have space, which
Okay.
is nice. It's kind of open, and they move stuff for whatever workout they have.
Okay.
Like they have dumbbell racks on wheels, and they just move the benches or whatever they're using, right? So, but it's basically like instead of like switching stations, everybody's got their own spot and they're doing the workout. And I've seen videos of them. It's funny. Somebody will do a set and they're like wiping everything off. They're being, you know,
That's
they're really
good.
adhering to everything. So
It's kind of different here. The gyms are open. I don't know what percentage they're allowing back in, but it's kind of the same thing where they're only allowing a certain amount in at a time. I don't know if they have it on a scheduling basis, or you just kind of go and you wait for someone to leave and then you get to go in or what. But no classes here yet, no personal training yet. So the gyms here are interesting. A lot of them aren't even staffed. They're just a building with equipment in there. Some of them are, some of them aren't, but the ones that are staffed, they do have gym staff. But yeah, there's no classes, no personal training, no nothing like that yet. And as we move into the next couple phases, in order for us to go to the next, they have to meet certain requirements. And once they can prove that to the state, then they go on to the next, and then classes can begin and so on. So just wondering what was going on there in Texas and compared to how it is here. Cassidy, the years are opening next week. Is that what you were saying?
It kind of just came out of left field, at least. So Hannah's in Eugene. I'm in Salem, and so our counties were behind a little bit from where she's at.
Mm-hmm.
So Reed literally kind of just last night was like, "Oh, things are gonna open." So I know my local gym's gonna open on Tuesday, and it kind of sounds like same thing. Masks are optional for members, but not for employees. Employees, it's mandatory. I think they're limiting the time that you're allowed to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any rules in Eugene.
I just know like most gyms have opened up here. They've been open for like a week, and they're starting group classes next week. And they basically like all their group classes, each person's like stays in a certain spot and like 6 feet apart. And I think all the employees do wear masks, and they increase like tons of cleaning stations everywhere. And you're encouraged to like clean your station off before and after you use all the equipment. But
I
I guess
think one, sorry.
go for it.
I think one, I don't know if where, I think I actually heard it through Health Fitness, but one suggestion they had instead of having spray bottles is just to have like a bucket so that you're not the contact with the spray
Yeah.
bottles. And then I know our local gym is doing special hours for higher risk populations. So
That's a good idea.
like how grocery stores are doing that,
Mhm.
the gym's
I
doing
hadn't
that
heard
too.
about that. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I think this gym can have like 100 people, but they said that they're maybe seeing 25. Like not many people are working out now that things are open.
Interesting.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
So how has everybody's training kind of changed, or do you have any questions about how you can kind of optimize what you're doing right now, or how to get back into things or anything like that? Any exercise questions, anything along those lines?
I kind of brought up earlier this week, I thought I've noticed myself because as a girl, I don't have to do my hair and makeup and commute to work and everything. So I found like my frequency has been more frequent throughout the day. I'll work out, and especially teaching classes, right? I have to teach shorter classes but more frequently rather than before I would do like 2 hours, go to the gym at night or whatever it may be. So I've noticed that difference, and I'm actually kind of curious because we have so many CubeFit short sessions, what our employees prefer. Do they like the shorter, more frequent sessions, or do they like one and just get it over with?
It's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. I'm willing to bet
Yeah.
they like these shorter workouts that are done more frequently, just because you have more opportunity throughout the day to break for 10 minutes to break half hour.
Yeah, it's
So I
better
would
for
be willing to
me.
bet that.
Yeah, I like the short ones just because I can catch a couple of them, but then the other seems a little overwhelming. It's like, oh gosh, I can't, you know, block off this much time to really do this workout. But if I do the short ones, then then it motivates me to do more. Like David, you had sent me that workout and I've been doing that. But doing the little short cube things kind of motivated me to then do more. And then I started doing your routine and it helped me a lot.
Good. Yeah,
I
I'm
love
glad
that.
to hear that. It really, we always kind of preface by saying depends on what your goal is, depends on what your fitness level is, stuff like that, obviously. And so for people that are trying to get back into just movement practice in general and exercising in general, and they just want to be healthier, then those little 10, 15-minute workouts go a long way. Literally just getting up from their desk or wherever they're seated goes a long way, honestly. But if you have goals that are more performance based, more fitness based, trying to get to that next level, that can be tough because you can do higher frequency, but it's going to take some bigger sessions at some point because you can't be doing like 5 a day or something like that if you're used to going to the gym 2 hours a day. Mike, how do you kind of approach that when people are asking about exercise frequency and stuff like that?
Really, just, I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you said it depends on your goals. That's really what it ultimately boils down to. But in today's, like in our new normal, as we're still locked down, people don't have equipment. It's just, I try to encourage, find whatever you can to do stuff with. And if you have a lightweight or dumbbell and we can get higher reps in that way, cool, and we'll design something accordingly. If you don't have a heavier dumbbell but you have a 5-gallon bucket that you could fill up with sand, we're going to use that accordingly as well. And we've seen some interesting devices, I guess I should say, used for weight. It's been pretty cool seeing what people are doing to overcome that challenge of not having anything. And really, you don't have to have fancy weights to do stuff. I've got one guy in my kettlebell class who swings a change bottle because he doesn't have anything, and it works for him. So we're improvising with what we have, and we're making do accordingly, just kind of programming accordingly.
Yeah, and I think something too when we're talking about exercise frequency, know that if you're trying to learn a certain movement, then doing it more frequently is gonna help a lot more. So if you're trying to learn how to squat correctly or whatever movement it may be, think of it as studying, right, for a test or whatever you're trying to learn. If you're doing that more frequently, it's gonna stick. So if you're squatting, 3 times a week instead of 1 or 2, then you're going to get better at it. And maybe that third one that you add isn't even, it's body weight or whatever, or you just change the tempo or something. It's not something where you're trying to really cause that overload on your muscles or your nervous system or anything like that. So just know that it's an opportunity to learn, and it's also an opportunity to recover. If I have a big session and then like 2 days later, I'm really sore, doing some body weight lunges and stuff, teaching these classes actually helps me recover and kind of get moving again. So yeah, and probably the third thing too is you can do too much in a single session. Like if you're really fit and you have to do, like for a certain muscle group, you have to do 20 plus sets per week, right? Good luck doing like 12 sets of something one day and 12 sets of something another day. You're going to be absolutely fried. So kind of splitting it up is something that elite athletes have to do at some point anyway.
I see down in the chat box, Austin was saying he feels called. Austin is our resident change bottle kettlebeller.
Yeah, that's right.
And it works well. And Austin has ordered some kettlebells, a kettlebell, and he has received notification that it will ship soon.
Oh boy.
So we still don't have a date yet, but it will be shipped, and that's what we know as of today. Austin, anything new to add to that?
It's just exciting, but it's still supposed to be like early June at this point. But
yeah, we're not too far away from June, which is crazy.
Getting there.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple people this week. This year is flying by. I mean, we're coming up to June already, and I can't believe it. But looking back to when, I think it was May 13th, was that our last day on campus?
Yep.
Something around there. That seems like
it was a Friday, May 3rd, or March.
That was March. It seems like so long ago, but yet January was just a couple, and it blows my mind how we're almost halfway through the year right now. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It is crazy.
Time will do that. It'll fly on by.
David, I had another question for you. Going back to the Murph and the gym, how many people does that gym normally put through the Murph? Like how many participate in the Murph? Do you know?
Man, there was a lot last year. It was packed last year. That's why we had to change it so you just have your one station.
So are you guys expecting, is that gym expecting maybe 50%? Has there been any kind of numbers guesstimated on what's to be expected?
That will be interesting. Thankfully, that's not my job. My job is to go there and kick some butt and not die. So it'll be interesting to see what the turnout is. Yeah,
I'm curious.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'll report back for sure.
Please do. I'm excited for people who are excited to be getting back to the gym, but I don't know what to expect. Are people going to be rushing back? Are people just going to kind of wait for others to go in first and be that first wave to make sure everything's going to be okay? I'm really interested to see how this all unfolds and plays out over the next few weeks.
That'll be interesting at like the commercial gyms that I go to around here. It's a little different when it's a gym that only does classes, and it's kind of a cult following. They're really into it, and that's their crew, and they really missed it. So as soon as things opened back up, they were ready to get after it.
Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle for a lot of people. Daisy saying that she's not communicating, but she's listening in, and that's
no problem.
more, that you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I just have some stuff I need to do, some kind of multitasking right now.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, hey, I'm not just here and not listening. Yeah.
No, you're fine. Absolutely. That's an option.
Yeah, no worries, Daisy. I'm doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome listening in too. Cool. Any other questions or anything like that? Let's see, we got 5 more minutes. Or any topics that you wanted to hit, Mike?
I have a topic. Actually, it's a question.
Okay.
I do it a lot. I go through phases. I'm very phasey with exercise. And what I mean by that is some weeks or months, I'll put a big emphasis on deadlifts. Deadlifts are my thing for that month or however long it is. Sometimes it's kettlebell. Sometimes it's whatever. My thing right now is I stayed up way too late watching these videos, but just watching heavy kettlebell work. And there's a guy I was watching who he did 6 sets of 5, but it was a double front squat clean with 48 kilos in each hand, which works out to be 211 pounds and change, plus a 50-pound weighted vest on. And so this guy's doing 6 sets of 5, and I'm watching him like a hawk to try to find out where's he going to break first. Is he lifting his heels up? I love watching people do these exercises on video where I can really hone in.
Mhm.
This guy didn't have a single thing wrong. I could not pick out anything wrong. And it motivated. I was telling Cassidy last night, I almost called her for a FaceTime squat session because I was ready to go get some more squats in. Like, oh, I could do that too. But does anyone else, I mean, do you guys do that? Like watch a video and think, okay, I need to be better at that right now and start doing that? Or am I just all alone? Am I weird that way?
We kind of talked about this before. I was shocked to see how little strength I had lost in that little amount of time, which actually was more motivating because I thought I was going to come back and start from square one, and then it's going to be like frustrating. But I was shocked to see how little I lost in that short amount of time because I was still active and was still working. He hit his bone in the couch and just felt it. um, but it's more motivating knowing that, okay, I'm not starting from scratch. I don't know.
Yeah, Cassidy, it had been how long since you had done a proper squat, a weighted squat?
Well, 7 weeks.
And so she had come back after 7 weeks and picked up right where she left off, which is
that's
crazy.
Awesome. Wow.
Great. That doesn't happen.
I was shocked.
I'm happy for you. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's really cool, especially if you haven't done a barbell squat and getting back to it, it can feel kind of weird. So I don't know if you like felt a little off, but you still had your strength. But I've had that because, like I was saying, you learn and you can relearn things once you have that foundation there. One of the things with people, if they've taken a certain amount of time off, I'll find that we just have to lower the volume, but the weight doesn't really drop down too much. We're going to take baby steps into it, but their performance, a lot of times people that are going really hard beforehand need that break. So I'll schedule deloads for my clients and myself. That's only like a week or so. But if you got a 7-week recovery, then I'm sure you're fired up.
That's actually something Mike brought up. He said that just goes to show how much your body probably needed that break.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good point, David, that you brought up. My volume was definitely not to where I left off. It was the weight. So that's a good point.
Yeah. And now you got a place to go. That volume can add sets over time, now that you're getting back into it. That's great. I have that though. I have that. I used to have it more with lifting. Since lifting for me is just such a habit now. It's just something that I do. It's something that gets done. I find that with different like sporting events or some like weird like watching The Last Dance, watching the Michael Jordan 10-part documentary got me into basketball again because that was a big part of my life for such a long time. So just seeing stuff like that and kind of reliving that stuff got me back into it. I would play every once in a while, but and it was pretty good timing too because now I'm getting some extra cardio in, and so kind of worked out.
Very cool. Any other questions or anything? We're about at the that time limit, but we still have time. If anyone has any questions, you can unmute or you can chat, use the chat box.
Okay, so I like am just now, as my gymnastics career, I've been like a gymnast for like 19 years. It ended the week that the coronavirus thing started. So I always planned on when I was done being like, I knew it was going to come to an end and I was going to start like working out for myself and not doing it for like my performance. And I already did kind of work out for myself because I do enjoy working out. And then I didn't have a gym anymore. So I've been like doing at home workouts almost basically every day. And now I'm like, I really like these at home workouts and I haven't really been lifting at all. Even though we do have dumbbells, like the kettlebell workout I did with Mike yesterday was probably like the first thing I've done with a weight in a long time. And I don't even know like right now my gym's open, but I haven't had any desire to go because I'm doing all these workouts now with Cassidy. And I just like, you guys all teach classes and but then also work out on your own. And I just don't know where you like find the balance between everything and like where you center your goals at so you're not too tired to lead workouts. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it all out.
That's an interesting question. David, were you going to jump in?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I will tell you that it takes time and practice, and you will not always get that right. I've had times where I was super burned out and did not like exercise, did not enjoy it after being so passionate about it. Because I remember, especially my first internship coming out of college, I did a few internships and I was teaching classes and I was working as a personal trainer too. So I was, leading so much and it was so physical that by the time I got to my workout, I did not want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so honestly, it's just kind of prioritizing the right things and making sure that you have a certain amount of time dedicated to your own personal workouts. And a big thing too is not having too much overlap. One of the things that I see trainers do wrong is they have something that they like and they kind of push it on a client, even if that's not the best thing for that client to do. Like somebody's into like Olympic weightlifting or something and somebody's just trying to be physically active. And they start having them do these super technical lifts. Makes no sense. And that's just like a random example. So making sure that there's not too much overlap, making sure that what you're doing, you enjoy, I think that goes a long way.
Absolutely. You definitely have to find what you enjoy. There's so much stuff that I don't enjoy and it's a chore for me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go get up on a treadmill. I'm not going to. But for me, I love barbell work. That's primarily my main thing. Since we switched to teaching all these classes, well, I've let that go. Now I'm just swinging some kettlebells. And so I've completely changed my entire thing. But I don't have any specific goals in mind. I just need to be active just to keep the blood flowing and it would be different for me if I was training for something specifically. But since I'm not, it was just an easy transition. I'll just leave those behind. I'll pick up this, and it's been a fun transition. I'm loving it right now. So that's how I've adapted.
Gotcha.
And I know we talked about this the other day, but I always say, like, as a fitness professional, we need to walk our talk. And so if we wouldn't tell our clients to work out for 5 hours a day, then we need to work out 7 days a week, 5 hours a day. We wouldn't tell our client that. So we shouldn't be doing that ourselves. And so right before actually you joined the team, I had so many requests because I have a Monday, Wednesday bodyweight boot camp class. Everyone's like, well, why can't we have Friday? And I'm like, well, I already teach like 10 classes a week, and so I was like, I cannot take this on because that's too much for me. And so that's where you ask for help. And so I had 2 team members who were willing to take over the Friday class. So just remembering, like, if I wouldn't prescribe this to somebody else or wouldn't suggest this, then I shouldn't do it myself.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do any of you guys like train for anything, or because I was like looking at I kind of, when things get better, want to try like a mini triathlon or something in the future. Something I feel like I just need something to work towards. because I work out just to keep myself, I don't want to lose any of the strength I've built all these years. And I just want to stay fit and healthy. But I was like, I feel like I'd be excited and more motivated if I had something to work for.
It helps having a deadline for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, knowing that, okay, there's this event this certain day and I want to do well. I don't want to look bad at this thing that I've been telling people that I've been training for and stuff like that. So yeah, that definitely helps. I used to compete in natural bodybuilding, and that kind of did the same thing for me. Knowing that, okay, if you have to hit the stage on a certain day, you don't want to look like crap. It's the equivalent of that. So that can definitely help you putting a deadline on things. And kind of to piggyback on what Cassidy was saying, that fatigue management, it's one of the training principles. It's a huge one that's overlooked. Everybody knows that they have to, work hard and be consistent and all that stuff. But it takes, for somebody that's really committed, it takes a lot sometimes to take that rest day, even if you're feeling okay, or to have those light days or the deload weeks. So just making sure that you're managing that fatigue.
Yeah. I know it's like right now it is nice because it's my first time not having to do stuff I don't like to do. So like there's an exercise I really don't like to do. Like in my head, I'm like, I really don't have to do this right now because no coach is yelling at me. But like we did Turkish get-ups yesterday in Michael's class, and never liked those ever. And I was like, I'm never doing these after no strength coach is telling me to do them because they don't make sense. But then like doing it because I wanted to do the class and like being successful at it made it so like now it's weird in one day, like I like those now because I did it because I wanted to work out and feel good that morning. So it's just a whole new perspective on everything right now. And I'm really excited, but I'm also like still trying to figure it out.
Hannah, I actually really like that you said that you did it for you and rather than somebody telling you, because I know for myself, and I'm sure Mike and David have also been through this working with clients. I think a lot of people grew up athletes, and so that transition from athlete to worker or employee is hard for some people. Like you said, you don't have anything you have to work towards anymore. You don't have to compete, or you don't have to, and so I think for a lot of people, that I just worked with someone last week who was struggling with, well, I don't have to work out, so how do I find the motivation, so that I think is going to be relatable to a lot of your clients. And just like sharing, like finding what you like to do is what's going to get you to be active.
Yeah, I agree a lot because now I do miss like lifting and putting my headphones in and like going and doing that, because whenever I had a break from gymnastics, I would go do that. But then I always have to take a step back during season to give myself a break and not overtrain. But now like I got that opportunity to do that, but I haven't done that in however many months. And so it's like, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll start going to a gym again. I don't know. We'll see. I've been staying fit with your workouts, Cassidy, so.
Yeah, well, you definitely have the resources. We're working with Cassidy and working with our HP team.
It's really nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. And also know that, you don't have to always be super into whatever you're doing. Everybody goes through lulls where they're not like going as hard as they possibly can or passionate about what exercise. Sometimes you're just going through the motions and you're just being active and you don't have, like you said, a certain performance goal, and that's okay for a short amount of time. It'll probably rejuvenate that fire too.
Yeah, I definitely took, after when everything started, I took like 2 weeks off and just didn't like do much movement because I didn't quite know what to do. And it makes you realize like how good you feel when you do get into a routine. Because even last week before I started my internship, I figured out how to like push myself again during workouts, because before it was like, well, I don't got anyone yelling at me to do my burpees faster, so like I'm just gonna go to the beat of the music. But then I realized how much better I feel if I do like in that 30 minutes push myself all out. And so like Cassidy's workouts are great, and I don't know, it's just a lot of balance and figuring out and going well. So
good. Yeah, you definitely will. Good stuff. I like it. And keep doing those CubeFits. If you have questions for any of us along the way, we're happy to help, obviously.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else, Mike? We got anything else?
That's all I've got.
Good to go? Okay, cool.
You all have a
We'll
great
be
Memorial
back.
Day.
Yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday and Thursday and have a wonderful Memorial Day. I know I will. I'll report back.
Good luck.
Good
See y'all.
luck.
Bye.